People will think of it as giving a handout or something like that. It's not that. It's really supporting our neighbors so that our community as a whole is healthier.
On August 4th, the White House and CDC announced an extension of the national eviction moratorium through October 3rd. Both Albemarle County and Charlottesville region are covered by the extension due to its high levels of transmission of COVID-19. The extension of the eviction moratorium grants more breathing room for at-risk tenants. Volunteer organizations such as the Democratic Socialists of America hope to take advantage of this extra time to ensure that at-risk eviction residents are aware of the guidelines of the moratorium as well as their rights.
We need to bring a CDC declaration form in order to say and check off the boxes to say, I am a tenant, I have this income, I have been doing my best to make payments. If I were evicted, I would have to go either into a crowded area or I would become homeless. Those are all some of the things that you would need to be eligible for the protection of the eviction moratorium. The moratorium applies exclusively to tenants who are being evicted for non-payment of rent. So if you're being evicted for something else, like breach of lease, you're not covered by the moratorium.
While being able to show proof that you are being evicted due to non-payment of rent is all that it takes to be protected under the moratorium, many residents are still failing to obtain this protection.
We did seem to see an increase in evictions for non-payment of rent coupled with other things like breach of lease when the moratorium took effect. Landlords understand that they can't evict tenants for non-payment of rent and are more likely to include a breach of lease in their eviction filings because that's not covered by some of the protections that tenants have.
While tenants face the possibility of not being covered under the eviction moratorium, the Democratic Socialists of America continue to fight for tenants' rights through remaining in constant contact with many other local organizations, such as the Legal Aid Justice Center. The Legal Aid Justice Center works to provide various legal options for at-risk tenants.
If it's the type of case we take, then we open a case file for them and provide them anything from advice to full representation, depending on the circumstances and depending on our capacity with our number of attorneys.
The Legal Aid Justice Center aims to help every at-risk tenant. However, due to inadequate funding from the city of Charlottesville, not every tenant will be able to be protected.
So they passed a $300,000 resolution. It could be a little while before that's available. I think unfortunately, even between the housing attorneys at both legal aids, there's just no way to cover every need and every person who might be getting evicted.
Additionally, the Legal Aid Justice Center seeks to spread awareness amongst the Charlottesville and Albemarle County region about the importance of affordable housing and understanding the impact that evictions have on families and communities.
Evictions have real ripple effects. An eviction is very expensive for the family affected. It's hard for children who may have to switch schools or just, experience instability at a young age. Folks who are nursing assistants, care providers, other low-wage jobs that are very necessary may not have that kind of stability in their lives.
With so many tenants at risk of eviction within the Charlottesville and Albemarle County region, there's an increasing need to address the lack of affordable housing. Lyle Sola Yates works as the vice chair of the Charlottesville Planning Commission and Housing Advisory Committee. He has been trying to address the housing crisis by rezoning Charlottesville to create more affordable living options.
The affordable housing story is about first counting how many do we need. We did that housing needs assessment. Then saying, okay, how do we get there? We did that too. That's the affordable housing strategy. Then into the comprehensive plan, which is about how do we actually do these things into law. The plan is for us to have the rezoning starting next year to actually start to make a difference for people's lives.
Despite the many fears and uncertainties of the rezoning proposal by local citizens, Yates believes that it will only help to improve the city.
We'd like to make it so that people can have some security in their homes, have some security that the rent that they're paying this year will be moderately similar to the rent that they'll be paying next year. And it's part of a larger affordable housing goal, not just to allow the homes, but to pay for the homes and to provide governance and staffing to make sure that we do it right.
With October looming on the horizon, many tenants at risk of eviction can only hope that affordable housing options become more of a priority for the city. I'm Danielle Faul, WUVA.